this is Marika, and today we are here to discuss on social behavior, right? So, in our previous classes, we've seen what is human relation, right? And human relation in context of nursing, right? So, today we are going to discuss what is social behavior and why is it important. Okay. Now, when I say social behavior, what do you understand? Now, social behavior is the interaction between members of a same species. Okay, so when there's interaction going on between the members who belong to the same species, or any kind of their behavior which is directed towards the society is called as social behavior. So communication should be between the members of the same species. When the communication happens between members of a different species, it is not known as social behavior. When there's communication, when there's interaction within the member of the same species, or any behavior of the members towards the society, directed towards the society, is called social behavior. Okay. Now, social behavior, usually social behavior or the interaction, right? It is followed by social action. Okay. Usually it is followed by social action and it is directed towards provoking a response from the other individual. Which means when you communicate with someone, it is directed to provoke a response, or it is actually to get a response from the individual that you are speaking to. So social behavior is followed by social action, okay? And it is directed, or it is done in such a way that you get a response from the other person, okay? Now, we've talked about what is social behavior, right? Now, let us also see what is antisocial behavior. Now, social behavior, as I said, is directed towards the society. Any behavior that is directed towards the society, right? So, antisocial behavior are those behaviors that may cause harm to the society. Any behavior of an individual that belongs to a particular society which causes harm to the society is known as antisocial behavior. Okay. Now, antisocial behavior, a person who has antisocial behavior or who displays antisocial behavior is devoid of concern and consideration for others. Okay. Usually, as human beings, when we do something, we take care that we do not hurt other people, right? We consider the feeling of other people around, right? But in antisocial behavior, the person who displays antisocial behavior will be devoid of consideration towards others. Okay, they do not care about other people in the group. Okay. Antisocial behavior could be done deliberately by the person, could be displayed knowingly with intention by the person, or it could be through negligence as well. I hope you've understood what is social behavior and what is antisocial behavior. Social behavior is the interaction that takes place between two members of the same species, right? When they interact with one another, the action that is directed towards society is social behavior. Whereas antisocial behavior are those behavior which causes harm to the society. The behavior which an individual displays, right, which is devoid of any kind of concern towards other people in the society, is antisocial behavior. Okay. Now let us all see what are the different types of social behavior. Now, the first one is aggression. So from the term itself, it is very familiar what aggression is, right? So aggression is one such behavior of an individual. Aggression refers to the behavior of an individual within the same species. Okay, there is one particular individual. This individual has an intention of hurting the other person. Okay, so aggression is what? Aggression is a behavior of an individual to hurt, to ridicule, or to humiliate another person within the same species. That is aggression. Okay, so the first type of social behavior is aggression. What is aggression? It refers to the behavior between the individual of the same species which has an intention of hurting the other person or humiliating the other person. Okay, the next one is altruism. Okay, now what is altruism? Altruism refers to the feeling of sympathy, concern, and benevolence towards others. It is the opposite of selfishness. Okay, Altruism is a feeling of concern, sympathy, and benevolence towards other, which means you feel connected to people, you feel kind towards other people, you feel concerned for the other people. That is altruism. It is the opposite of selfishness. We expect if we do something for someone, they'll in turn give us a particular thing or we will get a particular reward, right? But in altruism, here an individual will not have any expectation for any kind of compensation. Okay, so whatever you are doing out of sympathy, out of concern, or out of kindness to that particular person without having any kind of expectation to get something in return. The next type of social behavior is scapegoat. Okay, so what is the meaning of scapegoat? It is also a very familiar term, right? A scapegoat is a person who gets blamed for the wrongdoings of other people. So, a scapegoat is a person who is blamed for the mistakes or the fault that other people have done or made. Okay. Now, anyone could be a prey of scapegoat, right? Anyone could be a prey of scapegoating. It could be a child, it could be your friend, it could be cultural or ethical group, it could be a worker, or it can even be a country. So, scapegoat or scapegoating is nothing but blaming others for the mistake that you have committed. So the person who gets blamed for the wrongdoing of other people is called as scapegoat, right? For example, let us take a sibling here, right? There are two siblings, a brother and a sister. So while playing, if you break something, what do? The elder sibling tries to put the blame on the younger sibling, right? They try to escape from the situation by blaming other for the mistake that a particular person has done, right? So scapegoating is the So the scapegoat is the person who gets blamed for the wrongdoing of other people. Okay, that is also a type of social behavior. We see that in society, right? People do certain mistake and they put the blame on other people around, right? And the next one is shyness. Okay, this is also one type of social behavior. So we all know what shyness is, right? Shyness is a feeling of discomfort, nervousness, or lack of confidence, right? Or awkwardness when a particular person is in the proximity of unfamiliar person or unfamiliar situation, right? Shyness is nothing but it is a feeling of discomfort or being awkward when we are in a new or unfamiliar situation or when we are with unfamiliar person. Now shyness can originate from genetic traits, okay, or it may be upbringing of a particular person, or it may be the personality of a particular person, right? Some people are shy from a very young age, right? That is because of the genetic traits, okay? Or some people have personality like that. It could be because of the genetic trait, it could be because of upbringing, or it can be because of different personality type as well, okay? When there is unusual high feeling of shyness, it is called as social phobia. So these are the different types of social behavior. The first one is aggression. Okay, the second one is altruism. Third one is scapegoating, and the last one is shyness. Okay, now let us see what are the different factors that influence social behavior. Now, we all know, right? When we are with particular group of people, when you are with your friends, you behave differently. When we are with our family members, we behave differently. When we are in college, we behave differently, right? So our behavior is totally determined. Cut. Our behavior is largely determined by the people we are with, right? And the kind of relation we share with the people in that particular group, right? Now, our culture also plays a very important role in determining our social behavior, right? Because we've seen a certain culture, everybody belongs, has a different culture. Culture also plays a major role in determining the social behavior, right? We all have different cultures, we've learned different cultures. So, we behave what our culture have taught us, right? So culture also plays a major role in determining the social behavior of an individual. Our culture determines the way we talk with people, right? The way we greet people, our values, our tradition, and an individual's ritual, right? So all of this thing, our tradition, our rituals, our values, the way we talk to people is determined largely by our culture, right? And this differs from one culture to another culture, right? This differs from one place to another place, right? So this explains why the social behavior of a particular group is different from another group. As I said, our cultures are different. It differs from one person to another person. It differs from one group to another group, right? Because our cultures are different, the way people behave in a society from a particular culture is different from people from another culture. Now, social behavior is influenced by various factors, right? Let us see what are those factors. The first one is social norms. So, the individual's behavior is largely determined by social norms. Now, what are social norms? Now, social norms are set of rules, okay, or a set of standards that is understood by the members of a particular group or a particular society, which guides social behavior of an individual. So, social norms are set of rules or set of standards that a member or which guides them to follow certain set of standard in the society. Now, here you have to understand social norms are not something that is imposed by law. Okay, it is understood by the members in the community, or it is understood by the members of the society. For example, there are so many things in our society which are, we know, even when we were a child, we know that doing this particular thing is not accepted by my society, right? It is not good to do certain things in my society, right? My societal norms doesn't allow me to do this particular thing. So those are social norms. Okay, they are guided, they are made to guide the people, they are made to guide the social behavior of people, but they are not any kind of laws. They are not imposed on people by giving certain laws. Okay, they are understood by the people living in the society. Now, different societies have different social norms, right? As I've been saying, every society is different from one another, and the culture of different society is different. Similarly, like that, the social norm of different society is different. It differs from one society to another society. Now, these social norms are seen to play a major role in an individual's behavior or individual's social behavior. Now, what are certain social norms? Now, let us see few examples of social norms. Okay, the first one is making eye contact. Let us see the example of social norms. Like, let us see the examples of social norms, right? Making eye contact, smiling at people upon meeting them, right? Asking for help if it is needed by someone else. So these are all different kinds of social norms, right? These are the rules or set of standards that are guided by the society. So social norms has a vital role in shaping the social behavior of an individual. Okay. Next, we have culture and social customs. Now, culture and social customs are also a major factor in shaping individuals' social behavior. For example, in our culture, in Indian culture, when we speak to elders, we do not make eye contact. So it is culturally not permitted in India to make eye contact while you speak with your elders. Right? When you're talking about something with your elders, it is not respectful to look directly into their eyes, make direct eye contact and speak with them, right? We bow our head and speak to our elders. Whereas if you look into Western society, when you talk, if you do not make eye contact, it is a sign of disrespect. So there are different cultures and different social customs. It depends on the society. Okay, so therefore, culture and social customs also play a major role in shaping individuals' behavior. Now, every individual carry a specific value, right? We learn various values from our family, right? It is acquired from our parents, our family, or our mentor, right? And also our educational institutions. Even those values that we've learned and acquired plays a major role in shaping our social behavior. It is also one of the major factor in social behavior. For example, if there is an individual who have learned a value of not disobeying to their elders irrespective of the situation. So if there is a child who have learned this value from its home, right? We should not disobey our elders in any kind of situation. So values are something that we learn and acquire from our environment, right? It could be from our family or from our schools or our colleges where we've been, right? So those values stay with people, stays with individual, and they are governed by those values. So the way people behave or their social behavior is determined by values as well. Next, we have traditions. So as I've been saying, traditions differ from one society, one community to another community, right? those traditions also are largely responsible for our social behavior. So, for example, of a tradition, in India, a newly married woman is expected to dress in a certain way, right? She is expected to wear only ethnic clothes, right? She is only expected to wear kurtis or saris, right? So that is our tradition, that is believed in our tradition, right? So every tradition is different, right? Every society has a different tradition, and those traditions also play a major role in shaping our social behavior. Next, we have motives. So the individual's motive also plays a significant role in shaping the social behavior, right? Because the motive of an individual affects our psyche, right? It affects the motive of an individual governs our attitude and the psyche of an individual. So motive is also one of the factors that influence the social behavior of an individual. And the last factor is ambition, right? So obviously the ambition of an individual affects the social behavior of an individual, right? Unmotivated people, they exhibit very sluggish behavior. So unmotivated people, they exhibit very sluggish behavior, right? But the motivated people or the ambitious people displays warm behavior towards other people, social behavior. Okay, so ambition also is one of the major factor affecting our social behavior. So now let us all see social development among the child. So let us now see social development among children. There are different stages a child goes through in social development. We will see one by one what those are. In the first month of birth, infant hardly shows any kind or any signs of social awareness or social behavior. But by the end of fourth week, okay, by the end of fourth week, the infant starts staring at the face of his or her mother, okay, and other people who are close by. Okay, so for the first month, the infant doesn't show cut. The infant doesn't show any kind of social behavior or social awareness. The infant starts to stare at the mother or someone nearby. Okay, by the sixth to eighth week, the infant starts to make use of cry to demand something that he or she wants. By the end of ninth week, the infant starts to respond to an adult by a smile, right? If someone's smiling at the infant, the smile starts to smile back to those adults. And by the end of 16th week, the infant shows more signs of social awareness. By 20th week, the infant starts to cry when people leave him alone and starts to participate in social interaction in 28th week. Till the age of 5 months, the infant only smiles back to the people around, right? But by the end of 6th month, the infant will be able to distinguish between familiar and unfamiliar people. Okay? So in the second half of the first year, the child starts to enjoy the company of other people around. And by the age of 1 year, the child likes to walk when someone holds his hand. Okay? Now, by the end of first year, the child also starts showing negative reactions like fight or being defensive or attacking other people. By the 15th month, he overcomes shyness. By 15th month, the child is also eager to go out and also wants to be free and move about freely in the place where he or she lives. This is the social development till 1 year of age, right? Let us see in the early childhood. Now, when a child reaches the age of 2.5 years old, 2.5 years old, right, the child will know the location of various things kept in the household. Okay? And the child also insists that those things must be kept in the same place or in proper place. Okay? Now, if the child is 3 years old, the child will have emotional aware about himself or herself. Okay? So here the mother has to fill in about the child's past experiences or the past actions. Okay? So by the time the child reaches 3 years old, the child wants to know about his past experiences or what he did prior to this particular age. Okay? Now, as the child reaches 3 years, the child will also be able to make choice about his food, the kind of food he or she wants to eat, right? The kind of clothes they want or the kind of toys they want to play with. Okay? Okay, so this is the social development of a child, right? Social development among the child. Similarly, like this, it continues throughout our different stages in life. Okay. So, what is true social development, right? A true social development is being able to look at people as human beings, okay? And in friendliness and compassion, okay? Instead of saying that this person belongs to this particular caste. Now, a true social development is looking upon all the person like a human being and in friendliness and compassion, irrespective of their caste, their gender, their color, sex, or any kind of social status. So, this brings an end to social behavior, right? We've seen what social behavior is, what are the different types of social behavior, what are the different factors that affect the social behavior, and the social development among the children. Okay, I hope the class was helpful. I'll see you all in the next session. Thank you.